You ready?
I am ready.
All right.
So, how do you know if you have a knife that is good and solid for the kitchen? When your husband takes you to the emergency room at least once and you cut off part of your fingernail at least twice. We have good kitchen knives. My dad got them for us.
Oh, I could have killed him.
So, welcome back. Third episode of Ask AEAC. Steve and I have been a little snippy with each other this morning, so we'll see if that comes out.
You guys aren't the only one that's stressed out from COVID-19. It's creeping and infiltrating our lives too.
We're a little stressed out. We haven't been sleeping very well because we have not been, I think Steven, you would agree with this, we haven't been exercising. We haven't had any kind of routine. So for me, that turns into like not wanting to do anything. And for Steve, that turns into, he doesn't have that mode. He always wants to go and do and be. So he's just exhausted. He was supposed to do the vlog today on the Crown
Continuum.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
On the Crown Continuum, I was sitting in the bedroom. He had like 30 takes and just couldn't do it.
I couldn't get it started. I've got like 40 hours into learning that gun, and I'm really excited to teach it to you guys. And I had like this 2-hour vlog prepared this morning, and to take you through everything, taking it apart, swapping barrels, bringing you through how to tune it completely. Man, I couldn't carry a thought or form a sentence, and I'm just fried for some reason. So we're going to try that again tomorrow, and today we're going to do the Ask AEAC, so we're going to try a little bit of flip-flop.
It's true. He's also a little bit in love with this gun, so I think his expectations for himself are a little bit high.
Yeah, no pressure.
It's super... It's like super tunable, workable, adjustable. I don't know what the right word is. Tweakable. It's super tweakable.
It's just so much gun.
Yeah.
The way they configure it as far as like what all you get with the different barrel sizes, and then how incredibly versatile it is and adjustable it is with those two barrels that it comes with. You know, I'm hoping that when I get done with y'all, a lot of you impact owners are going to be rethinking your decisions. So,
yeah,
because that's my favorite of the two right there. But enough of that.
Enough of that.
Yeah, we got at least.
Let's talk about this fart quiche I'm making. Just kidding.
Let's not do that.
Okay, let's get to the questions.
So we got at least a dozen questions here, and they're good questions. Some of them are pretty charged, and I'm excited to be able to answer them for you.
We picked out a lot.
And they all of these came from last week's
Vlog.
Ask AEAC vlog. I didn't go outside that. I've got like 50 emails saved from like questions from the primary YouTube channel, AEAC Home, and I just decided not to touch them. So we're gonna stay within today and just answer your guys' questions from last week. So thank you for giving us those.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah, hit me.
This question is from Chris Ungourneux. Sorry, Chris. Here's a question for you. Do you only do reviews when the companies send you one, or can the viewers send you one to review?
Good question, and that is a question I get a lot. And when I get it, I can't help but love on you guys. It just makes me feel honored that you would trust me with your gun to review it and then send it back.
It's kind of a big deal.
To me, it's a big deal because these things are precious to us and they're expensive, right? I mean, I get that. So every time one of y'all asks me that, I'm just flattered and thank you. But I get it a lot. And the answer is no, you can't send me your gun to review. And the reason being is I get paid a lot of money.
That's how we make our living.
Yeah,
well,
to review these air guns. So sometimes it's the factory direct, sometimes it's the local distributor, sometimes it's the local retailer wanting the video branded that name. And each time I put one of these products through my process, which you guys know, it's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's a video here on the vlog, then it's a video over on the main channel, AEAC Home, and then all the work that goes in between, it's 70, 80 hours. It's more than, and it's hard work. You know, it's more than a full-time job, so I charge these companies a lot of money to do that. And I know what they're thinking now. Well, if they're paying you, how is it? I'm going to cut them off at the pass.
How are you unbiased?
Yeah, how am I unbiased and how am I honest? And
for those Steve.
Well, for those of you that have watched my reviews over the last 3 years, I'm brutally honest. When I see something that could be better, I mention it, and And it is what it is, but it's very simple. When I'm approached by a manufacturer, distributor, or retailer, I say sure. I give them the pricing, and then I say, but please don't send it unless you're comfortable with me giving it an honest review, because I'm going to be honest about the gun with with the audience. And if you're not okay with that, just don't send it. And that's why I think you see some companies that like to send their guns and some that don't. They just have different levels of comfortableness, with basically taking their livelihood, putting it in the hands of a complete stranger like myself, and then making videos to go out on YouTube, which is forever. That's kind of a scary thing for them, and I get that and I respect that. And so I'm certainly not entitled to it, but that's the behind the scenes, excuse me, of that. Hopefully that answers your question.
So, side item, there was a gnat flying around the quiche when I put it in the oven, and it got trapped in the oven.
You cooked a gnat with our quiche?
I feel a little bad, but I'm also a little curious.
I'm so not eating that. We have enough problems with Corona right
Protein meat is hard to come by right now.
Corona came out of bats.
I thought you weren't supposed to say Corona.
Well, it's all over YouTube now, but it came from people consuming bats in Wuxing, China? Wuhan. Yeah, so we don't need to be eating gnats in the United States. God knows what's going to come from
Wuxing. Okay. Wait, what? Oh, gnats. I feel like, well, maybe.
Hopefully the microwave killed it.
Okay, the oven. It got trapped in the oven, 350 degrees.
It's toast, literally. Okay, onward. Next
terrible. Question. I feel like, what's that channel? No animals were harmed in the making of this film. Some animals were harmed in the making of this film. Okay, this is from Green Arrow 0705. Hey, maybe you have already answered these questions, but I'll throw them out again in case you haven't. What is your personal favorite air rifle? What type of air gun shooting do you do with it? If you could choose only one, which one would it be and why?
All right.
Classic questions. I know it's great to see a more... Oh, wait. This is just kudos for us. Thanks. Okay, so the question is, what's your favorite?
Yeah, so I want to be brutally honest with you guys on this topic, okay? Because you and I are in this together, right? My job is to get the manufacturers to send me product so that I can review air guns, right? That's a victory for me, and it's a victory for you guys. So make no mistake, I have favorites, and I have tendencies that I like. But I also have enough common sense to know that if I declare a favorite, that's going to shut off the flow of air guns, in here, and that's going to be a loss for all of us. So, the job is to look at the product and review the product within kind of my scope of knowledge and as far as how it stacks up, and that's what I do. The other big piece of that...
That's a very saucy answer. Do you want some tea?
No, thank you. The other big piece of that, I forgot what the other big piece of that was.
That was the point.
The other big piece of that is, God, I can't remember. There was another really important piece.
Was it? Okay, so the first piece is that you can't declare favorite because you're reviewing for everybody, and that would put some
told you
people
I was
off.
crispy, yeah.
And the other piece
here's the other piece. I remembered it. Thank you. The other piece is...
But he's in love with me, and I'm his favorite.
I've learned,
So stupid.
Can you just let me focus?
Yes.
I told you I was crispy.
I know, which is why I'm fucking with you.
This morning, you fucking shut up. You're like an air hose with the end cut off. Last week, you were telling me to focus, and this week, you're like all over the place.
It's true.
So just shut up. So the other piece of that is, my background is sales, management, teaching, and one thing I learned over the years is that you can have one customer. They say that there's a seat for every ass. You can have one customer that thinks this product is absolutely amazing.
That's true.
And then the next customer comes along and thinks that that's the biggest piece of shit in the world. They would rather have this product over here that customer thinks is a total piece of shit. So the job is to try to relay you guys the information in an unbiased format, give you all the information so that you can make an intelligent and informed decision for yourself. Because at the end of the day, the reason why there are so many brands that are successful is because everybody's got a different idea of what's important to them and what their best is. So for me to declare a favorite, it doesn't really make any sense because it's going to take away and confuse from that because you're looking at me as this guy that touches all these, and all of a sudden my best becomes your best, then you get it and you're like, well, that's not what I really wanted. All right, but that all aside, I tend to like air guns that are lightweight, slender, refined, reliable, offer a lot of features, and are of an expandable platform. But then I go through these phases where I get burnt out on that, and I want just something that's just simple, like a brake barrel or a non-tunable air gun. So I find myself going back and forth. So the best way I could answer that question is just be completely transparent with you, and that's the reality of that answer. So hopefully that answers your question.
Although this week, he's in love with the Crown Continuum.
Yeah, I will say I have had
He has little
more fun than I can remember, and I've never put 35, 40 hours into a pre-vlog learning a gun.
Let me tell you how awesome it was to have him shooting in the backyard for 5 days straight. It was amazing.
I literally shot almost 1,500 pellets learning how to tune that, so I can share that information with you guys, and hopefully I have enough brain cells left to do that with you tomorrow if my wife here can stay on track. All right, next question.
Okay. This question is from Paul Cheng. Steve, SPA Weapons seems... Oh, do you want me to say SPA Weapons?
It's actually SPAW, Southern Precision Air Weapons, owned by Ken Hicks.
Kenny! Okay. Steve, SPAW Weapons seems only to tune PCPs. Can you recommend one who tunes Springers, especially when YROW 97? Do you like that?
YROW.
Oh, shit.
You did much better.
I think last time I said YROC.
YROW.
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 That's
how they say it in Germany.
YROW. Okay, got it.
So tuning Springers. Gosh, I've been away from that for, seems like forever. Probably 3, 4, 5 years departed from tuning Springers. I used to do them myself, but if I have a Springer and I'm looking to get a tune, there's probably two places that I'm starting with, and that's going to be either Vortec, and I think VortecTuning.com or VortecSeals.com. Just Google Vortec air guns. It should pull right up. Or Air Guns of Arizona. They sell a lot of the Vortec tuning kits for Vyrow, and they probably install and tune those kits themselves, so they could probably assist you with that. This is a pure guess, but I would also guess that Pyramid Air and maybe even Utah Air Guns also dabble in that. But what immediately comes to mind is Vortec and Air Guns of Arizona when I think Vyrow tuning. So I would start there. Vyrow.
Okay. Next question is from Chris Manning. Steve, just curious why I never see you use RWS pellets. I know Diana sponsors you. Aren't they affiliated with Diana? P.S. Superdomes in .177 are very consistent pellets.
I have the RWS stuff here, guys, that I purchased myself like 10 years ago. And I have, I've got the Superdomes, I've got the Hollow Point, the H Point, and I've got their Meisterkugeln, or however the heck you say that, and their hobbies. I've got them. I just don't use them. Why don't I use them? I don't use them because it seems like the core of what you guys use is focused on H&N and JSB. And those two companies send me pellets like by the 50-pound crate from Germany and in the Czech Republic. So I guess I just use what gets sent to me. RWS, Diana, Umarex, they're all different companies that kind of share licensing and branding. In fact, I called Tobias, who is the director of sales. Tobias. It's like 2 beers is how you pronounce it in German. I called Tobias, who's the director of sales for...
he kind of reminds me of Captain Kirk.
He does have a Kirk.
It's a
William Shatner quality to him. He's the director of sales of Diana for the U.S. And I WhatsApped him. I phoned a friend and I asked him kind of that same question. And I'm going to play for you guys how he answered the question from Germany just a little bit ago.
Okay, right.
So yeah, you can't interrupt. You have to shut your pie hole for a minute.
Hi, Steve. The whole RWS, Diana, Umarex topic is very, very complicated. So, from what I know, Umarex has the right to use RWS. Umarex USA has the right to use RWS in USA. So Diana makes them as an OEM using the RWS license, but this is only for USA. And so Diana has no shares or anything in RWS or something similar. But all over the world, RWS is sold under, is a brand of RUAG Amotech, which is a huge company doing aerospace, military defense, and so on. And I do believe the RWS pellets are sold through Umarex, but they are similar like the RWS pellets you can buy in Europe. So I don't know exactly the lineup of Umarex USA, but from what I know, it should be the case.
Cool. So the only thing I'll add to that is Diana pellets are manufactured by H&N Sport. I'm almost certain. I don't know if JSB does any of them, but I also know that RWS pellet manufacturing in Germany is its own company, and I believe that they are a competitor to H&N Sport and JSB. So it's kind of a complicated.
RWS.
RWS.
I love it. Oh
Get
my
out!
God.
Get out! It's Corona! Get out!
Oh my God.
Everybody get out!
Stop.
All right, next one.
I love it. RW.
We're all getting
Anyway,
punchy.
we're
Thank you, Tobias. We love you and we appreciate the answer, buddy.
Oh, cheesy.
Sounds like you're getting over what we're getting over. The ick.
He did sound a little hoarse, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so next question is from Jerry Purnell.
Stop feeling me up.
I'm fidgety, as one viewer noted. Hey, been watching your channel for a couple years now. Even joined AEAC when it first came out. Thank y'all. Question for you guys. Explain shot spread for me, and do you think Crosman is fading in airgun manufacturing?
Okay, those are two totally different things. So shot spread,
It's a twofer.
yeah, I think what he's asking is extreme spread, and when you shoot actually got him right here from getting set up for the Continuum vlog. So I think he's talking about this. This is what we call a shot chart, where you have velocity on this side and the number of shots on this side. By the way, that is 179. Flat as a pancake. But extreme spread is the difference between the high and the low, or the max and the min. So it gives you like a window of how many feet per second does the lowest velocity shot differ from the highest velocity shot.
Why is that important?
It's important because once you get over like a 25 foot or a 30 foot per second extreme spread, you begin to notice points of impact change with your pellet out at like 100 yards. People get, and the only other thing I'll add to that is, people get like real tunnel vision with extreme spread and standard deviation. And they seem to think that you have to have like a 10 foot per second or a 12 foot per second extreme spread, because that's what some of these day states and FXs are capable of these days with, the regulator technology, and just the valving is getting so good. But the reality is, if you're under, say, 30 feet per second, you're not going to really see a drop difference even out at 100 yards.
So basically, you know this stuff about your gun so that when you're going out to shoot, to hunt, to do whatever, you know that once you get to like shot, blah, you are going to need to aim higher because your pellet's going to go.
Yeah, or it's time to refill, or you can use it as a tuning tool. But the idea is to try to keep your extreme spread, the difference between your high and low, below 25 feet per second. That's my ideal, because what I find is if I'm in that window, I'm fine out to 100. What was the second part of his question?
Do you think that Crosman is fading in the airgun manufacturing?
So Crosman, they're not fading. They recently had a change of ownership. They were purchased by Raven Crossbows. I think it was like November, December last year. And at that time, they parted ways with both myself and Airgun Nation when they went under the Raven Crossbows ownership. I had some conversation with the guy at the helm Raven, and he said that he wanted to send product through here and continue to be part of AEAC, and then they vanished like a fart in the wind. So.
Not your farts. They don't vanish.
Yeah, they stopped their coupon codes with us, and they just don't send product, and they don't email me when I email them back. And actually, it's kind of funny. This week, I think I got an accidental email from their new director of marketing. Yeah.
I feel like you maybe not wanting to. I don't know about this email, but
It was an email from the director of marketing with like some press releases with some new stuff they're doing. And I replied, oh, hey, so-and-so, it's good to hear from you, whatever. Does this mean that you're looking to, reinstitute your partnership or your affiliation with AEAC? And it's been crickets, and that was like a week ago. But that all being said, they're far from gone. They just released like 5 new guns to include a semi-automatic Marauder. The Marauder looks like it's Crosman. The 5 new guns, to me, have like a Turkish-made feel to them. More specifically, Kral. It looks like, I could be completely wrong, but it has that like Kral, Evanix DNA look to it. So I'm guessing that they've partnered with someone over there in Turkey to build these 5 new guns, to include a bullpup and a bottle gun and a nice carbine. So I don't think they're going away. I just think that, for whatever reason, they've had a course change, and that's fine. We got plenty to do, but I'm not going to be seeing any Crosmans come through here until at least they start talking to us again.
I always had the impression that Crosman was more of like a Walmart brand, like an entry level gun. But you're mentioning Benjamin Marauder and some like kind of big names out there. So do they have like a lot of big names?
The Marauder is a very popular gun, but it's gotten into the $700 and $800 price point now. If you build one at the Crosman shop and you pimp it out, and with your Green Mountain barrel and your Picatinny and your regulator and all that jazz. So, it's not entry level anymore. It's true that they are kind of thought of a little bit as a box store gun. I think Bass Pro Shops, I think Cabela's, I think, at some level Walmart. But, this new direction they're going in is the opposite from entry level. Those guns looked good.
So maybe we'll see some more.
They looked more on par with what you'd see from Hatsan and Kral, which is very interesting to me because Crosman actually called me like a year ago and asked me how to properly set up and tune their guns.
He is very feisty today.
To be competitive with Hatsan and Kral. And then they just vanished, and now this. So, and that was just free consulting I gave them, And it's
no hard feelings.
Yeah, no hard feelings, Crosman. But
okay.
What the man?
The real deal, people today.
That was pretty ghetto.
Okay, so next question. Greg Baker, or very frugal on their part, I mean. Okay, from Greg Baker. On the last question, that was the HW110. I'm just going to read this out loud because I already don't understand how it's starting. The HW100 is basically a solid steel panzer of a gun. Emoji and laugh out loud. Emoji, laugh out loud.
Focus. Or we're going to have another 2-hour vlog.
HW110 is excellent regardless. I'm with a few of the guys here. Would love to hear your thoughts on the DeltaWolf.
On the what?
Like DeltaWolf.
DeltaWolf.
What did I say?
Delpha.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
Delta, right?
Delta Wolf. Looks like there is boundless potential there to me. I genuinely enjoy the effectively parallel arms race between Daystate with their electronic tech and FX with their analog adjustability. Mm-hmm. The two of them are pushing things forward in very different ways and make sure life as an air gunner is never boring. Okay, just LOL, just gotta stay outside of the forum politics.
Yeah,
don't we all?
Foreign politics can get brutal.
So essentially, would love to hear your thoughts on the DeltaWolf.
I agree with you. I'm really enjoying the rivalry between Daystate Brocock and FX because they're all upping one another's game, and that's just a victory for us. And I really like how you put it, kind of like the analog approach with FX, the digital approach with Daystate. They both kind of are achieving similar things. What do I know about the DeltaWolf? I know that it looks like an FX Impact. I know that.
Oh, is that the Expensivo one?
Yeah, I know that it's going to be about $3,000, I think, for the high-powered version. I know that it's similar in its technology to like a Safari or a Red Wolf by Daystate. But I know that instead of the big thing, I think with the DeltaWolf or that line going forward that's got me really excited is instead of having to buy the programming box to program your gun, it's now going to be able to be done with an app, which is super.
On the DeltaWolf?
Yeah.
Oh.
And maybe even the Red Wolf and the Safari. So, very exciting times. But I don't really know any more than you do. I know what I've read on Instagram and Facebook with all their posts. It looks like a great gun. They've done some really cool stuff, it looks like, with the magazine. It looks like they're still using Lothar Walther barrels, but they're using a higher grade of Lothar Walther. Like, if you don't know, when a manufacturer designer goes to Lothar Walther, there's like 500 different grades of barrel to include the match grade and the polygonal. So I think that they've taken that to like, they've even refined that level of barrel even further. But I'm sure with as much heart and money as they've invested in it, we can expect good things out of that DeltaWolf. And it looks great.
Okay, so that kind of plays in the next question. Apparently, DeltaWolf is on everyone's mind. This is from Derek Todd. What do you think your chances are of reviewing a DeltaWolf in the near future? Would love to learn as much as possible about this before committing.
So Precision Airgun Distribution in Arizona, which is the wholesale version of the retail piece, Airguns of Arizona, did reach out to me and let me know that they would like to send a DeltaWolf for review. The same group said they wanted to send a Safari and a Red Wolf, but I've just been so busy I haven't even gotten to those yet. So I just said, well, really right now I'm wanting to review some more value-priced offerings. So would you be willing to send one of the Brococks? And they sent the new Brocock Concept Light, which is here, and I do have actually sitting right over there. It's still in quarantine.
It's done though.
I know. I gotta move it into my office. So we're gonna see that before we see the DeltaWolf. I handled that gun. I've kind of been privy to been kept in the loop on the designing of that gun, and I'm super excited about it and to share it with you. And it should be about half the price of that DeltaWolf. So I want to do it first.
Okay. Next question.
Next question.
From Jason Pest Hunter Hayes. Hi, Steve. It's taking me 6 days to come up with a question to ask you, but what kind of traps are you using in your backyard? Is it something that you purchased or something that you have fabricated yourself? It might be an awesome video for everybody who might be stuck inside or in a small backyard. I'm fortunate enough to have a good size range, but I know some people don't have the luxury.
So I've thought of sharing that in the past, and I've always been afraid to make a video of it just because of the liability.
He did not buy it. We dumpster dive.
Yeah, I literally go to a dumpster, I get out a cardboard box, then I go over to Lowe's and I buy a couple bags full of rubberized mulch, which is ground up used truck tires, I think. I fill the box with that, and that's
tape the crap out of it, obviously.
Yeah, you tape it up, and that's been my
Hold on.
You're interrupting like crazy.
Yeah,
today.
relax. Take a seat.
All right, I'm gonna get a drink.
Take a breather. So because I'm obviously, the house is kind of like the thing that's on my radar, and we have 1 or 2 holes in the fence, in the white vinyl fence, just 1 or 2. And the thing that really made that an efficient model, the box with the rubberized mulch, is Steve put a 3/4 inch piece of giant plywood behind it, which has really, really been, I think, the crowning achievement. So essentially it's a box full of rubberized mulch sitting on one of those like $25 wooden bar stools from Lowe's or Walmart or something like that with a 3/4 inch piece of plywood behind it. It's very important to have that plywood.
And you want a box that's a good 10 to 12 inches thick, full of the rubberized mulch. And by the way, the holes in the fence didn't come from me missing or going through the mulch. That came from like 10 years ago. Each one of them has a squirrel's name on it. Where the pellet went through the squirrel, and it didn't go through the fence, but it definitely broke a hole in the first layer of it. Next question.
So much better. Okay. This next question is from Israel Perez. Which is the best PCP rifle? Better power, precision, and with more stable shots. Greetings from Tlaxcala, Mexico.
I don't even think I understood the question.
Which is the best PCP rifle? Better power, precision with more stable so I guess the question is, which PCP rifle has the best combination, because it's all about combination, power, precision, and stable shots. Shot stability.
All right, shot stability comes from reduced caliber, reduced pellet weight, and reduced pellet speed. And it's one of the things I'm going to get preachy on with the Crown over here. Like, everyone's gone down this path of like wanting to overpower their air guns, and they've gotten like this ridiculous tunnel vision. Like, how do I get 100 foot-pounds out of my air gun? Well, I can pretty much guarantee you that once you go down that path and scratch that itch, you're going to be in a hurry to get your air gun back down to like a reasonable power level, because they're much more enjoyable to shoot. They're easier to shoot accurate. So if you want a consistent, fun, accurate air gun, even out to like 100 yards, keep it moderately powered. And by moderately powered, I mean like 30 to 50 foot-pounds of energy in a 22 to 25 cal. That seems to be kind of a sweet spot. And what was the rest of this? What was the first part of this question?
Which is the best PCP rifle? Better power, precision with more stable shots. I think you kind of...
yeah, for me, I have a sensitivity to people wanting more and more power. It doesn't interest me. I've gone down the path, and I've had the realization and the epiphany that it sucks. You know, at least for me, it takes away from what's fun. And what's fun is the refinement, the docile shot cycle, the repeatability and the accuracy, the quietness, the non-jarringness of the rifle. I'm really into like, how do you tune a rifle now so there's great harmony? Those are all things that turn me on. So, you know, if you want, buy a powder burner if you need like huge power. And as far as what the best is, the dollars in the airgun industry chase, or excuse me, the dollars chase kind of like the refinement, the features, the fit and finish, the warranty, the quality. All air guns are similarly accurate at 50 and 100 yards, I've found, if you do the work and the due diligence to learn them. That's probably more than he was looking for, but that's my answer.
Okay, we're going to take a commercial break. We went to Sweden, obviously. Steve and I went to Sweden to do the factory tour. And we brought back a couple of weird things, and I want to try them today on air. And I think it would be fun every time we travel to bring back something super weird to eat on air. I also threw away the scissors.
You threw away our scissors?
No, I don't know where they are. Oh, yeah. So today's treat is... Can you see this?
I can see it.
They're Cheez-Its covered in chocolate.
Cheez-Its.
Because why not? I mean, why not?
I'm the guy that puts like cheese and peanut butter and chocolate on everything and loves salty and sweet and spicy all together. But something about cheese and chocolate, like I don't do cheesecake. That just sounds nasty. Well, it smells like a Cheeto. I don't even smell the chocolate.
Try it.
No way.
What do you mean no way?
No way.
No, come on.
The last candy she gave me in Sweden.
It's so bad. Oh my god.
You want to tell them what it tasted
no,
like?
No, but try this first. Try this. You gotta try it with me.
It literally tasted the way armpit and ass crack smell. If you can imagine hot, sick ass armpit
it wasn't that bad.
in your mouth, that's literally what this candy tasted like.
It was a combination of grass, rubber, and butt. I think that's a fairly accurate way to describe it. I mean, so in Sweden, they really like licorice, or at least that's a more traditional sweet. But it's not America licorice. It's not black licorice, not red licorice. It is licorice root powder. It is licorice.
It's disgusting.
And I don't know if you guys have ever had licorice root powder, because the woman in the candy store was so funny. She was so nice. I swear to God, she just wanted to just give me the weirdest thing because I was so into it. And she poured some licorice root powder in my hand, and I ate it. It's intense. Like, to say that it's intense is it's something.
It smelled like Comet.
So the next step from that was this very traditional candy that's out there. It's kind of green and it's covered in licorice root powder, and it's a hard candy with a soft shell or soft filling on the inside. I would, if you see that, just go ahead and say no. Try this. You gotta try this.
Don't worry.
Come on.
Will it shut you up? Because we can't have another 2-hour vlog. They're going to go to sleep on us. That's actually pretty good. Maybe
It just tastes like chocolate.
yeah. It tastes like chocolate with an undertone of Cheeto.
Yeah, but mostly chocolate.
It's good. Man, I love y'all in Sweden, but
It's not bad.
that one candy that she popped in my mouth when we were there was just nasty. All right, we got to keep going.
Look, it looks like I have bandaged my body. Okay,
Let's
anyway.
keep going.
Next question. It's actually not bad.
No, it's good.
Okay. This is from Reverend Oliver Stop.
Reverend?
I think so. Is that what the REV means?
I don't know.
That's my guess. I really enjoy your channel and would like to know if you could review some HFT and FT guns and scopes, as I am considering moving over to that sport as a hobby. Why don't you shoot that discipline? What is HFT and FT?
Field target.
Oh, right. You told me that. I asked you that question twice.
So, my first real exposure to field target was at the Pyramid Air Cup last year. And if you haven't caught that video, you can go over to AEAC Home and watch it. It was great. And I learned a lot about it. But up until that point, I really didn't know a whole lot about field target. My exposure was mainly American field target, which is held at the Extreme Bench Rest out in Phoenix, Arizona. And I've got like 3 or 4 videos of that up. But as far as why don't I shoot, I don't have any time, guys. I don't have any time to do anything except live my life and review all these air guns that come to me. Like, I don't really shoot like for fun anymore. I don't shoot my own stuff. I just don't have time. So I'm the wrong guy to answer that question. That's going to be more like a Tyler Patner at Pyramid Air. That guy he's a pro. He competes professionally, globally. Another good one would be Ken Hicks, but he's more like the global bench rest
Kenny!
stuff over there at SPAW Weapons. But I just don't really get into the field target. I'm fascinated by it. I loved what I saw. I just don't think I'm smart enough about it to speak with intelligence, so I'm just not gonna.
Aw.
How's that?
So humble of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. It's from Corvid Stalker. I would like to thank you both for taking the time to entertain and inform us during this terrible time. Anytime. It's the least we could do.
Is this entertaining, guys?
Yeah.
This is how I torture my bandito.
Just wondering what you think of the new Daystate DeltaWolf. Dude.
Yeah.
Just wondering what you think of the new Daystate DeltaWolf and also its chances against the likes of FX. Hopefully at this year's bench rest competitions. Hopefully.
From what I can see, they've got a great product there. They've done their homework. They're putting the right barrels in it. Yeah. It's going to be a super tunable platform, which means the end user can make it work with the pellet or slug that they want to be able to make it work with. You can easily change barrels in it. It's very tunable and adjustable. You know, apparently with like one of these now without having to purchase an external power adjuster. I think for Daystate, it's going to be a matter of, how big can I build that Red Wolf team? Because, FX has done a really good job of kind of building the YouTube celebs and a lot of the folks over there at Utah Airguns into their team FX. So really now it's on Daystate to recruit for their team. So I would say to you, if you have an interest in competing at those levels, reach out to Airguns of Arizona, reach out to Precision Airguns, reach out Precision Air Distribution, reach out to Daystate, and let them know. That's how John Bagakis got into it, and he's one of their top performing shooters at EBR and RMAC and Pyramid Air Cup. That guy makes the rounds, and he just asked them, and they put a gun in his hands, and he's doing a great job for him. So it'll be interesting to see if we even have those this year. I mean, I don't know what our summer's going to look like with with COVID and all this, but
dragging out.
Yeah, really at that level, and when you get to that level of gun, it really comes down to the shooter's ability and the shooter's preparedness to shoot in the winds that you're going to encounter in Utah and in Arizona, because they're brutal. Just brutal.
Surprisingly. You would think Arizona, at least I did, I think Arizona is stagnant, but
it's brutal.
Not stagnant.
Not at all.
Last question.
Oh, we got through them all?
Yeah, you ready? Well,
nice.
Except for one. It's from Bose 15015. Can slugs be fired by any PCP rifles?
Yes. What if I got one right over here? I do. So this is a 17.5 grain slug by Nielsen Specialty Ammo, right? And so if you've got a 22 cal PCP, try that slug. I think that's what they're asking me. Here's a 24 grain, 24.8 grain slug. If you have a 25 cal PCP, try that, or a super high powered 22, and so on and so forth. I don't know if there's a lot of slugs out there yet for the 177s. NSA may have a few. But yeah, if you're asking about the barrels, I'm finding that the Lothar Walther barrels, the Turkish-made barrels by Hatsan, and the slug liner and the non-slug liners by FX are all liking all of these pellets that are, or all these slugs that are coming out. If you follow me on Instagram, you know, you would know that. Because I've been putting all that up there for you all, hooked on air, almost every day for like the last 8 days. Yeah, try it, because chances are it's going to work.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank you guys for joining us for this snippy session of Ask AEAC.
Yeah, be safe, guys. Take care. Hopefully I have my wits back about me. I'm exhausted. I'm just going to straight up tell you I'm exhausted. Tomorrow,
I'm so tired.
and I can film this vlog. If not,
Yeah.
I'm just going to rest tomorrow, and Monday I'll get back to the Crown Continuum vlog, because it's going to be a biggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave you with this ditty because it's been stuck in my head for 2 days. If you're familiar with Beauty and the Beast, sing along. No one cleans like Gaston, quarantines like Gaston. No one spreads this. Oh, wait. No one stops the spread of COVID-19 like Gaston.